Spy Hunter. Considered armed and extremely dangerous. You control the turbocharged race car Hydro spy boat. You control a deadly arsenal of missiles, machine guns, oil slicks, and smoke screens. Multiple nerve-shattering spy action screens. Sophisticated spy challenging graphics. This is hardly a game. It's a high-speed test of your secret agent skills. Meet the challenge and survive Spy Hunter. In Spy Hunter from SunSoft, released in 1987. And for 1987, it was a pretty damn good looking game. I was impressed. Having looked at Super Spy Hunter not too long ago, let's take a look at Spy Hunter today. 1983 originally, developed and released by Bally Midway for the arcades, and has been ported to various home computers and video game systems. As a cabinet-style arcade game, Spy Hunter was produced in both sit-down and standard upright versions, with the latter being more common. The game's controls consist of a steering wheel in the form of a futuristic aircraft-style yoke with several special-purpose buttons, a two-position stick shift offering low and high gears, and a pedal used for acceleration. It is a single-player game. It's also a vertical scrolling action driving game, with the player in the role of a spy driving an armored sports car. The object of the game is to travel the freeway, destroying as many enemy vehicles as possible while protecting civilian vehicles in your top-down perspective. The game begins with the player driving the fictitious G6155 Interceptor. Various enemy vehicles try to destroy the player's car or force it off the road, including a helicopter that drops bombs from overhead. Counter increments the score while the car is moving on the road, and then additional points are earned by destroying enemy vehicles using weapons or by forcing them off the road. After an initial lead-in time, during which the player has an unlimited supply of cars, the player must earn extra cars by obtaining high scores. Destroying non-enemy cars halts the score counter for a short while, and no points are scored whenever the player's car is off the road. The car can be destroyed by a hard collision with another vehicle, or if it is hit by an enemy weapon, including the craters blasted in the road by the helicopter's bombs. Following periodic forks in the road, players can enter a new territory with different terrain and or weather conditions. Players can also upgrade the car's standard machine gun by adding other weapons by entering the weapons van, which appears in every new territory and can be periodically summoned by pressing the blinking weapons van button. 3 special weapons are available: oil slicks, smoke screens, and surface-to-air missiles. Each has limited ammo and are lost if the car is destroyed. The game's dashboard shows which weapons are available when lit. Now, that's all in the arcade version. Some of that has carried over to the NES port. Let's talk about the ports. Because of its success, Spy Hunter was ported to several home video game systems and home computers of the early 1980s. Versions were developed for DOS, the NES, the Atari 2600, the Atari 8-bit family, the Amstrad CPC, the ZX Spectrum, the Commodore 64, the Apple II, the ColecoVision, and the BBC Micro. A clone named Major Motion was also released by Microdeal on the Atari ST and Amiga. The Nintendo port has extremely buggy collision detection. If the road turns, the car will not crash if it remains pointed straight. It is possible to drive for hours over dirt, rocks, riverbanks, and etc. If the car's tires are slashed while near the top of the screen, the car will often spin off the top of the screen and reappear at the bottom. The car becomes indestructible and can drive anywhere on the screen without being damaged, but the weapons no longer function. Did not know that. What can I tell you about this? It's very fast. I mean, surprisingly fast, and even goofy hit detection and all. Smooth for the NES. It's a very well published game. SunSoft did a fantastic job making this happen. So there you go. What can I tell you more about the game? Controls are goofy, but good. Sometimes it feels like you don't move enough, or sometimes it feels like you move too much. It's not overall a bad game, though. Super Spy Hunter is probably the better of the two. It's less racing, going super fast, and more shooting and avoiding all that other stuff. But what can you do? Here's some interesting little bits of interesting for you, I guess. In Hit and Run Homicide, a first season episode of Murder, She Wrote, Jessica, the heroine of the show, realizes the solution to the episode's mystery while watching a patron play Spy Hunter in a grocery store. And, dig this, A version of Spy Hunter is included as an Easter egg in the first release of Microsoft Excel 2000. It requires DirectX to work. Shortly after Excel 2000's release, Microsoft officially banned Easter eggs from its non-game software. Oh, there you go. Not a bad game. If you like Super Spy Hunter, give this one a try if you have it.